up? On this Jay from the Crypto Arrow channel, and I come back to you with some market updates regarding cryptocurrency for you beginners in 2021. Now, lately, there's been a lot of volatility occurring in the market, and usually, what happens in the weekend is we get a slight pump up because in the weekend we are the only game in town, and I'm talking about cryptocurrencies. All the different markets, they kind of close down for the weekend. So yeah, this current weekend right now, it's been super volatile. Um, I mean, this was expected with the current inflation narratives as well as tapering the balance sheet narratives from the Fed, as well as bunch of other fuddy news, meaning fear, uncertain, doubt news. So you know what? This volatility was expected. However, I do expect it to pull back just a little bit more starting tomorrow. But please don't quote me on that. Look into the charts, look at the market, see how it's performing. Because a lot of these things do occur in the middle of the night within just less than an hour because robots are basically the ones running the show with, of course, the Fed's money, the big guys. So, you know what? Before I get started to the actual news that I have for you guys, I just want to say that nothing I state in the video is financial advice. So please do your own research on top of mine because I'm basically just showing you what I'm looking at. And I will do my best to guide you guys, um, also paint a picture for what to expect. So that way you're not too thrown off. Now, mind you, the accuracy of my readings is not 100%. There's a lot of volatility that occur in between, but certain events, I mean certain market cycles still do play, like the monthly cycle where at the end of the month things go down, at the beginning of the newer month things go up. So that kind of pattern is always there. However, how it translates to the next following month might not always be the same. So keep that in mind. So all right, let's get to it. All right, here we have Bitcoin mining dropping by 60% amidst the Chinese regulating their miners. So basically, the past couple weeks, they have been increasing the narratives towards energy efficiency, and well, basically, they've also been reusing old news from the past to basically cause or to give them that narrative to pull the market down. And they just want a way to regulate the coal fired electricity. I mean, people that are mining Bitcoin using electricity from coal, they want them out because they're moving to a more carbon friendly environment here, and they want only renewable energy to be used when mining Bitcoin. And you know what? Let's read what this has to say. So the average hash rate between May 13th and May 30 was around 179.25 exahashes per second. But with the whole FUD negative narratives, it declined to 150.48 EH per second or exahashes. So that kind of gives you an idea of how big of a control China has on the hash rate. Now, mind you, they were only going after the non-carbon friendly Bitcoin miners. And it has been stated in the past that China owns like 40 to 50% of the hash rate, meaning Bitcoin is centralized in that matter. And yes, China owns a good majority of the hash rate. And yeah, that 1/6 of the hash rate right there was just on non-energy efficient um, Bitcoin miners. And yes, also I'm not saying those Bitcoin miners got axed. They just basically relocated to a different country. Uh, so yeah, let's see here. Oh, Mongolia. So Mongolia too has been banning certain crypto miners, and they wanted to find a way to regulate these miners because when you're mining Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency, you are basically like a business. It is a business, and they need to find a way to regulate these people so that way, they can tax people. It's all about control, guys, and that's what they aim to do. It has nothing to do with you. All right, moving forward. Okay, so this one is kind of like very important news. So as volatility paves way for USDC presence on balance sheets. So there's a lot of companies out there, especially the big institutions, that do not like the volatility. I mean, who does? If you're like ahead in the game with like 30% gain and all of a sudden it drops like 50%, it's really hard to accept something like that. But if you've been in the crypto space for a while, you see that something like this is like almost regular. So 30 to 20% drops and like fine. 50, 60%, it kind of does take a blow in your ego, your emotional state. So I get why people get shaken up, but like it's not uncommon, man. It happens almost like in a quarterly basis, or if not monthly basis. I mean, some pull like this in the past 3 to 4 months has happened at least 3 to 4 times. Um, the first one that I can remember was when Joe Biden got inaugurated, and the whole entire market got pulled like 40, 50%. And then once again, when he made that declaration of increasing the tax rate for the top 1%, the market once again got pulled by like 40 to 50%. And then all of a sudden, all these narratives towards energy efficiency and Bitcoin mining, that pretty much pulled the market 50 to 60%. So as you can see, it's been reoccurring throughout time. It's stuff like this is not new. However, yes, not everyone that wants to participate in crypto can stomach something like this. However, there is another way for you to be in crypto and not get hit like that, and that is in the form of stable coins. And yes, USDC, which is pegged to the US dollar, is one of them. And the beauty about cryptocurrencies, guys, even though you're not getting the volatile cryptocurrencies, you can get the stable coins. It stays on one price all the time. And yes, you can stake them or earn interest in those coins for like 8 to 10% a year. You don't get stuff like that in the regular legacy market where you store your money in the savings account. You get what? 1%? That's garbage. So now what they aim to do with these big institutions is that they want to add USDC to their balance sheet. So that way they can enjoy that staking rate as well as have the ability to acquire the other cryptocurrencies that are volatile in price when the price is low. So that way they can ride it all the way back up and then from there sell back to USDC. And that's how the whales do it, guys. Now, I want to show you this one infographic, and you're going to love this one. Remember, this is not financial advice. So this is the Interledger Protocol family and the ISO 222 ecosystem. And yes, you will be seeing this quite more often. And it is very important for you to really pay attention to this picture because the cryptocurrencies that are involved in this picture are going to be the ones that is going to be used by a lot of the central banks across the globe in order to issue their digital currencies. And here we have Algorand as one of them, XLM, XDC, XRP, IOTA. All these different protocols are going to be super important in the new economy. And of course, in terms of stablecoin, if you look in the bottom right, you have USDC. It is part of this network. So you can see just from this infographic alone, and yes, this is legit, guys. I got this online and I've also searched it up. This is pretty legit. And yes, USDC is part of that backbone of the ISO 222 system. These stable coins, guys, are basically like your fiat money now. You use them to acquire the volatile cryptocurrencies. They are the backbone of crypto. Without them, you cannot acquire all the different cryptocurrencies. So please do take a screenshot of this, because if you don't know which cryptos to, acquire or look into first, these are the top cryptos that, you can start looking to do your research, because they are very, very big. The central banks are behind them. And who has the most money in the world? Do you think regular retailers have the more money compared to the central banks? Really, come on, man. Let's use your head. But remember, this is not financial advice, so please do your own research. And remember, ISO 222, it's going to be very, very prominent next year. And you heard that from me. All right, moving forward to the next one. Oh man, this is pretty funny news. So, a religious ban on cryptocurrencies provokes social media reproach in Ingusisha. So basically, certain religions out there only want people to acquire money through labor. It's just their current belief. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Every religion out there has their own rules, expectations. So the way I see it, yes, since right now it is not really considered legal tender in many places, it is not considered money yet. So they want people to stray away from cryptocurrencies for, I think, Muslims. And it's not just religion. I mean, it's not just the Muslim religion that has issues towards technology. Um, from my experience in my schooling, Orthodox Jewish traditions, in certain times in the year, I think it was September or October, they have a tradition where they are not allowed to touch electricity. And while everything is going digital, I don't know how they're going to function in the new economy, because the new economy pretty much requires electricity. So that's going to be a funny thing for them. I don't think I'm gonna share my story. It's kind of like very trolly. You guys might find it offensive, but yes, I do see this news right here is just it's FUD, fear, uncertain, doubt. But it is bringing an important issue regarding crypto, because it is not regulated to the point where it is considered legal tender in many places. But that is where the economy is heading towards to, the fourth industrial revolution, where everyone is going to be using cryptocurrencies as a form of money. So there's just another news that leads towards regulations. All right, so Indian bank and card service provider warns against virtual currency transactions. This is nothing new. Um, Multiple banks that are being used right now, like TD, even the exchanges themselves, are giving people an issue in regards to buying cryptocurrencies. I personally have a friend of mine who uses TD, and after multiple uses, the the company themselves, TD, blocked his access to cryptocurrency, because their excuse was, with cryptocurrencies it leads to gambling and all these illegal activities, and they don't want to participate in it. And that's the funny part, because the banks are the biggest players when it comes to manipulation, all these different um, money laundering. And whenever issues like news like this arise, when you look at the market, it usually goes up. But please, this is not financial advice. Stuff like this is pretty common when the market is poised to go up. And yes, we are moving to a newer month. And of course, every single month that comes up, Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrency market always goes up. The exact date and how much it goes up varies. So please do your own research there. All right, moving forward to a newer one. So 5BitConnect promoters sued for marketing and selling unregistered securities. So it's funny how the SEC right now is targeting Ripple, XRP, and then all of a sudden do this. Because a lot of these, what do you call it, exchanges, guys, they're the same banks and they're all working together. So all these different news of the SEC suing this company, suing that company. It just seems a little too fishy, too weird. I mean, like they're working together in the background. All of a sudden, you wanna sue them? Makes no sense. So this is just FUD, of course, and of course, just it leads towards regulations. And that's what it's all about. All right, so ignore the headlines. Bitcoin mining is already greener than anything, and yes, they are just basically they want people to be using renewable energy to mine Bitcoin, and they also just want to create regulations where they can regulate people that are mining money or mining Bitcoin because well they want to tax them. And yeah, that's the whole idea of cryptocurrencies. With banking the unbanked also means having a way to monetize the unbanked people in like certain countries like let's say Africa and all the Asian continents, I mean Asian countries as well, where a good majority of like citizens that have something to sell, they can't get in the banking system because well it's too costly for them. So they do things under the table, which is good, yeah, under the table where they can't be tracked. And the banks don't like that. They want to track people, every single one of them, every single transaction, so that way they can tax every single citizen in the world. And it's all about control, guys. Just keep that in mind. But if you do want money that's untracked, look into precious metals like tangible silver, tangible gold. But please do your research there because that is not financial advice, okay? Precious metals all the way. All right, here we have Nasdaq acknowledging Silica as an altcoin with solid potential in 2021. Do I believe this? Hell yes. It is one of my portfolio, guys. And the tech, the team, and the use cases behind Silica is tremendous. It's huge. And recently as well, it's been part of, I mean, it got added in the Digital Chamber of Commerce. So Silica does have a lot of backing. It has a lot of potential. And it definitely is something that you should be looking into, reading into, as well as maybe acquiring it as well, holding it to the side. And remember, that is not financial advice. Also, keep in mind with Silica, you have a chance to stake it for 15% and up. But please do your own research there. And there are other cryptocurrencies that they did look into as well, like Basic Attention Token, which is in the entertainment side. You have Chainlink, one of the top oracles out there. You have Chia, that is backed by Andreessen Horowitz and a bunch of other big guys. I think it has something to do with like computing, cloud storage, and all of that. Please do look into it. I did not do a lot of research into that. You have Chili's. It's big in the entertainment industry as well as the NFT section. And remember, NFTs are huge, huge potential. And we have HOT, Holochain. This in itself is backed by the World Economic Forum because they are energy efficient and they don't consider themselves a blockchain as well. They have their own system going on. But please do look into it because you might discover something that may interest you. And of course, VeChain. Oh my God, I swear everyone has to have VeChain in their portfolio because its use cases is just it's too tremendous not to have. I mean, you're gonna see later on the use cases of VeChain. A lot of these big corporations are going to be using it for logistics, and it's been touted before that it is like the Ethereum for business. And there's a lot of things in their pipeline, guys. But you're only going to understand that when you start looking into it. And of course, we have Silica. Um, yeah, I'm not going to talk more about Silica in this video. I will do separate videos on Silica because it is one of my favorite cryptocurrencies out there. All right, so the last part. Oh my God, oh, it's frozen. So, with all these talk about inflation, more money spending, here we have the Treasury, Janet Yellen, saying the government is operating like it's 2010, calling for more aggressive spending. Remember, guys, Janet Yellen is not a chess piece that you wanna not pay attention on, because she is a big signal of what's to come. And by saying headlines like these, this just promotes the whole idea of hyperinflation occurring. Because with all these money printing happening, man, like there's nothing backing it. It's just coming out of nowhere. And the sad part about it is that the citizens are the ones that have to pay for it with their taxes. So basically, we're in a continuous loop of having to spend our hours in exchange to pay for things that we didn't even really ask for. But remember, that is not financial advice. Yes, this article was published like last week on Thursday. I did try to bring it up in previous videos, but I just couldn't find it. But this ties in with like Joe Biden's 6 trillion. I think it was infrastructure plan, or no, something else. But anyways, he's got like 6 trillion up ahead, and on top of that, he's got the 1.8 trillion families plan and 2.3 trillion infrastructure plan. All this money is basically going to be used to build a new economy, which is the fourth industrial revolution. But please don't quote me on that. You guys have to do your own research there. And whenever they say stuff like this about like expanding the balance sheet, usually equates to them pulling money out of nowhere and then having us pay for it. And yeah, that is all I have for today's news. Do expect a pullback later on today, heading towards Tuesday. It is going to be a super volatile week coming ahead of us. But remember, on June 5th, around there, the crypto market will start moving back up because big institutions like CME will open their contracts again, of course, open the casino. And next month, we also have Grayscale releasing their lock on their portfolio, meaning they are going to be, selling their positions because they made big profits from it ever since they opened it last year. And also, guys, keep in mind there is going to be a bearish market coming soon. It's going to last for maybe 2 months or so. That's just my opinion, okay, based on what I've been reading in the markets. So do not be discouraged if your portfolio takes a little dip, because this is just temporary. The bears, the bear market should be embraced to the fullest extent that you can. Reason being, if you buy things at a low, when it starts rallying up again for the bull market, which this bull market isn't done, you're going to enjoy that planting that you did in the bear market, all that acquiring. And yes, you will reap the rewards around September, October, November, around that area. But remember, that is not financial advice. And yes, I did invest in the bear market last year, or when it was bearish. And because of that, even though we have this pullback now, I'm not worried because I'm still at profits. And on top of that, this bull market is not done yet, and I don't think it will ever be if you guys are in the right cryptocurrencies. If your cryptocurrency has utility towards the new economy, believe me, it's going to be a non-ending bull market for you. But yeah, that is not financial advice. But anyways, that is all I have for this video. If you did find this video informative towards your journey into the new economy, please do press like, share, and subscribe. Maybe there's other people out there in your life that require some information like this, that doesn't like really show you all these different charting positions, this and that. I mean, like, that's fine and all, but like, I look at things in a macro perspective, where the world is heading to, and investing in the cryptocurrencies that has use cases towards the new economy. I don't like to price predict, because stuff like that, it's baloney to me. I mean, like, you're going to be competing against bots that are on 24/7. If you want to compete against them, be my guest, but you're going to be stressed out of your mind. But, if that is your thing, kudos to you. For some people like me, we look at things in the macro perspective because it's less stressful that way, and there's more fun to have in between. But yes, thank you so much for listening. Do enjoy your day. Take care.